Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the really weird intro. It's like all dark and moody right now. It is 10 o'clock at night and I have been sick for the last week, so it's been a very chill, low energy, low effort type of week. But I really wanted to start filming this video before I finished my first book of this video. So if you saw my TBR video for July, you will know that I am only reading Booktubers' favorite books in July. So this video is kind of like part 2 of that video, because in that video I chose my books that I was going to read for the month and now I'm actually reading them. So just going straight into it, I am actually 75% of the way through Better Than the Movies and I am absolutely adoring it. I definitely think that this is going to be a 5-star read. This book it's fun, it makes me giddy, it makes me feel like I'm back in high school, falling in love. It's just adorable and I love our characters so much. There's just something about childhood friends or just best friends to lovers that just really gets me every single time. I also feel like I somewhat relate to our main character because I also make playlists for literally every situation in life. Whenever I have certain moments or whenever I think back on things or whatever, I fantasize about things, I always have music that's going to those specific events. So to have a book that has so many music and movie references, it's just so fun and I'm having such a great time with it. I'm on page 252 and I have I think about 100 pages left, but I'm kind of sad. I don't really want it to end. This was a favorite by so many booktubers. I think it's Haley Pham. It is, I think, Sarah, Destiny, Alexa, I think Allie. So I definitely understand the hype of this book because it is, like I said, just absolutely adorable. But I'm gonna try and finish this either tonight or tomorrow because then I also really want to start Billy Summers tomorrow. I think I could get another, it is 10 p.m. right now, so I think I could get another maybe 50 pages read tonight and then I might start getting really sleepy. So then I'll definitely finish it tomorrow. I just got done with my day job work, so I'm about to go and get ready and then finish Better Than the Movies. I am so excited. Like I said last night, I don't want it to be over. So I'm sad that I'm almost done with it, but I'm also so giddy about it because it's just such a cute book. But before I went and got ready, I wanted to share a little package that I got from Merit Beauty. They were so kind and sent me some of their new products that I'm extremely excited to try, and I also have an affiliate link that I will put down below. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This year, well, the last year or two, I've just been slowly transitioning into just cleaner and better products, especially when it comes to skincare, makeup. And I've also been trying to wear less and less makeup because for me personally, I just don't like the feeling of makeup. And I just like having a fresh face as much as I possibly can. So I'm really excited for these products because it is just a more natural feel and look to makeup. So they sent me their little makeup bag, which one of these comes with every first order, and then they sent me a glow serum, a cheek tint balm, a highlighting balm, and I think this is a lip, yeah, and then a matte lipstick, which I usually don't wear lipstick that often, but I've been wanting to kind of dabble into it, especially on date nights and just special occasions. I really like the look of it. My friend Ashlyn has raved about this instant glow serum, so I'm really excited to try it. I feel ever since I've been treating my acne, because last November my face started breaking out so bad and I've been having to treat my acne ever since, and it's just completely dried out my face. So I've been trying to get more hydration back in, so this is gonna be really great for that. I don't have a mirror over here, so I'm just plopping my phone right in front of me, but I really wanted to try these really quick. It doesn't have a scent, which I actually really enjoy because I feel a lot of companies, they put a lot of fragrance in their products and it's just not very good for your skin. Ooh, this stuff is super smooth. My skin's been doing really well, but recently it's been breaking out a little bit around my cheeks and my forehead, which I don't know why because I literally have not done a single thing different. I don't know, sometimes I feel it just freaks out around my cycle. But also, like I said, I have been really sick lately. I think I got some kind of like maybe bronchitis or some kind of coughing thing because I never got like a fever or anything, but I just had a really bad cough, or I've had a really bad cough for the last like, I don't know, week to 10 days. So I don't really know what's going on, but I'm over it. Like I said last night though, I do have a lot of like reading plans for this month. I'm hoping to get Better Than the Movies read today and then start Billy Summers. And then within this week, hopefully read like at least 3 or 4 of my booktuber favorites in my July TBR. I don't know which one I'm most excited for. I think, the most excited for Better Than the Movies. It's one that I get constantly recommended to me, and every single time it's like popped up in videos, everyone has been like, why have you not read this yet? And now I understand. I don't know why it took me so long. This doesn't happen to me very often, but this is genuinely a book where I'm like, why did I not read this sooner? Literally, what if I just wore it like this? Oh no. Honestly though, back when I was working at like the nursing homes, there would be older ladies that would wear their makeup like this, and it took everything in me not to just giggle. Ooh yeah, I really like how like subtle and natural this looks and feels. I've had like powder, bronzer, and blush for so long, and that just continued to dry out my face really bad, so this was so needed. Ooh, this is like T-Swift red, but it's pretty. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be really, I don't want to put it on today because I'm just around the house, but ooh, that's gonna be really pretty for like date nights. Ooh, this highlight is really pretty too. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see that highlight, but it's right there and right here. Ooh, but that is so pretty. I would love to look like a glazed donut. I was needing a new makeup bag as well, so. I think these makeup bags are so fun because you just tie it and then it just chills like that. I don't know, it's so fun.
And if I show up, will you show me around town? If I make you laugh, will you give me some time? 'Cause I know that a girl like you could be falling in love with just about anyone. All I want is just to know you. It's just to hang around, walk on the same ground. You remind me of the days gone by, of a real good love to your love just in time.
Oh my goodness. Hello, sweet friends. I just finished Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, and I fear I will never get over it. This was just the most adorable little book I think I've ever read. It was so cute. It was so freaking cute. Oh, I was truly kicking my feet and just giggling and like, through the whole book. This is easily going to be a new 5-star read for me because, again, I wanted to actually remember the way that I felt about this book and the things that I was feeling through this book. I started taking notes. So first, I absolutely loved Wes and Liz's character. I loved how like unapologetically herself Liz was. Like, she loves cute little dresses and she loves rom-com movies, and she's just like her own person, and she doesn't feel like, I mean, maybe she feels pressure by like her peers in society and stuff, but I just always felt like she was just so unique in the way that she was just proud of who she was, and she was like happy with who she was. For Wes and Liz, I just freaking love a good nuisance of a love interest. Like, I love so much when there's that like, not like rivalry banter, but you know, someone who just like constantly gets on your nerves and annoys you, and it's just like that funny, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just, you know what I mean. I think also the fact that they did kind of grow up together definitely added a lot to their chemistry and just their story as a whole. This book was so cute, it was so fun, but it also explored a lot of other things that I really appreciated and that I really loved. I'm just gonna read my notes because I don't know how to like relay this in a sentence that like makes sense. I said this book explored living with grief after loss, learning that you can't force or make moments, and that being honest to yourself and others will always produce the best result, even when it isn't what you thought it would be. After Liz loses her mom, you're kind of like following her emotional state, her mentality, as like how she's kind of like coping with her senior year, like all these changes that are coming up, like all these big moments that are coming up for her, and you just kind of see her work through her grief of like not having her mom there for those. I also love that it touched on like how you can't force moments in life, especially if you want them to be like those picture perfect moments. You can't like force things like that, and that was something that Liz learned throughout the book, which I feel like is also like a really good life lesson for readers, because I feel like a lot of times we kind of like make picture perfect moments and we like hope it goes a certain way, when I don't know, I feel like most times the way that we don't picture it going is the best way that it could go. Which brings me into my next thought of this title is just so very fitting, better than the movies, because throughout this whole book, Liz is kind of just trying to make like her movie perfect moment with this other guy, and I mean all of her plans just kind of blow up in her face, and she realizes that the messy, the unpredictable is the best. You know, that messiness and that unpredictability is what makes it better than those movie perfect moments, you know? There was one part in this book, it was like during their like the conflicting scene, that I just felt like she was being so immature. Like just some of the things that she was saying was so like petty and immature, and I had to remind myself that she is a teenager and this is a YA book, so like of course she's gonna act immature. But that was literally the only thing that I like didn't really like about this book. Everything else I just absolutely loved, which is why I'm giving it a 5 stars. That has definitely become like one of my favorite romance books, like rom-com books. It just gave me a feeling that like normal adult rom-coms like haven't, and that's just feeling like a kid again, like falling in love for the first time and everything just being so like giddy, and I don't know, it was so much fun. So now that is sadly over, I'm going to be starting Billy Summers now, and I'm gonna start that on my Kindle. I think that one is a longer book too. I want to say it's around like 400 or 500 pages. So hopefully I'll get it done within the next like 2-ish days. But it's already 8 o'clock, so I don't think I'll be reading for a super long time tonight. I can knock out at least a couple of hours. So I got up to page 79 in Billy Summers. So I'm only 15% of the way through, because I think this is a little bit of a longer book. My thoughts so far. Okay, I don't know. I know this is like a newer Stephen King book, so I don't know if this is just the way he writes or if this is just like how this character specifically thinks and talks. But something that I've noticed, and I don't know if I like it or if I don't like it or if I just feel differently about it, but the way that he, like these sentences are, is everything is just very like short and to the point. Like he just tells it how it is. It's not like fluffy or like, I guess, lyrical like whatsoever. And like, okay, so here I'm like conflicted with it, because I like it because it's easy to read. Like it's so easy to just like kind of fly through, and you get straight to the point. Like it doesn't require much thinking, which my brain is very much loving at the moment, because I feel like fluffy writing is just kind of hard for me to like comprehend right now for some reason. But at the same time, I don't know, I feel like it's just making me not as like invested, and I don't feel as like connected to the character. I mean, but I get we are only 100 pages in, not even 100 pages in, so I know that we're going to kind of like connect with Billy more throughout the book. But I don't know, so far the writing was just kind of like throwing me off a tiny bit, but it's really easy to read, which is really nice. The story itself right now is a little bit confusing. Like I don't quite know where this is going. Like you have your main idea of like, okay, this guy is like on his last hit job, and so we're kind of just like following the days or weeks or however long it takes up to like the point of that happening. But still, I don't know, like I feel like there's a couple like side conversations that are happening that I just don't really understand like where that's like is he planning something? Like I don't really understand what's going on in those like side ideas and in those side, I don't know, just like things that are happening. So I don't know, but I'm definitely not like bored or anything. Like I'm still enjoying the story so far. I'm just a little bit confused, I guess I would say. But for the most part, like it's fairly easy to understand. I'm like 99% sure that Billy Summers is on the spectrum, which he does mention that early in the book, that like one of the, I don't know, someone that he knows like in the book like thinks that he's on the spectrum, or like says that he might be on the spectrum or something. But just like the way he talks and kind of just the way that he thinks makes me feel like that might be the case. I'm gonna spend the next couple hours reading a little bit more of this book. Okay, I think I can better explain like my confusion for this book, because I feel like right now they keep like talking about things that he's doing, but I have no idea why he's doing those things. Like there's the story of him like trying to accomplish his last job, but then there's also like almost like this other storyline that's like starting, and I just don't understand like why he's doing certain things that he's doing, which I feel like we'll eventually like obviously get to know more about, but like right now it's just making me so utterly confused. But I know I just have to keep reading and like eventually it'll all like make sense. Okie dokie, friends. I have some unfortunate news. I think I'm gonna soft DNF Billy Summers for now, because I don't know if it's just my brain. I don't know what is happening right now, but I'm just like I'm not getting into this book like at all. I'm actually like finding that I'm skimming over a lot of it, and I don't know. And maybe this is just a me problem. Like maybe it's just like a me, my brain thing. But I just feel like the way that this book is written, I feel like he just talks about so many random things, and like we'll be talking about something and then I feel like it'll like jump to something else and then jump to something else, and I just don't understand how any of that like has to do with each other, if that makes sense. And I don't understand how like a lot of what has happened so far like has anything to do with it. Like it all just feels like a bunch of random sentences. And I'm just like, I'm having a hard time following that. And I don't know why, but like just reading this book, I'm only on page, I think 130 is what I got to. And I don't know what is happening, but I'm just like feeling weird. Maybe this is like a conviction, or maybe it's like, I don't know, but I just feel weird. Like I just feel weird reading this book. I'm not really enjoying it right now. So I'm soft DNFing it, because I know that maybe I am just like going through some weird like reading phase right now, and I do eventually want to pick it back up, but I don't know. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna put it down, because I have so many other books that I want to read right now, and I just don't want to waste any time continuing on with something that I'm not enjoying. Honestly, right now I'm having like extreme anxiety, and I'm not 100% sure why. So I think I'm just gonna not read for the rest of the night. I think I'm just gonna chill, maybe watch a movie, drink some water. I don't know, just hang out. So I'll update you guys tomorrow. Hello friends. If I'm being completely honest, I cannot for the life of me remember the last time that I updated you guys. I have been really, really bad about that in this vlog. I think if I can remember correctly, I had just soft DNF'd Billy Summers. So with Billy Summers, I think that I'm just going to switch to the audiobook, because it's not necessarily like the story itself that I don't like, because I did really like the story. I don't know, the way that his writing is in that book, I just like, it was not working for my brain. So I don't know. I'm gonna try a different format and see if that helps. After I did that, I started Heartless Hunter, and this is a favorite from Liv's library and Rachel Catherine, and then I think Destiny Sidwell also recently read it, and I think at first she didn't really like it, and then ended up giving it, I want to say like a 4-star. Maybe I might have to go and check on that, but I know that a few booktubers have really enjoyed this book. And out of all the ones that were on my TBR, this was the one that I was like craving the most at the moment. We all know that I'm notorious for strictly mood reading, so I had to follow whatever mood I was in, and my mood was craving Heartless Hunter. At first, I was pretty turned off to this book. I normally try to avoid witchy books, but because I was hearing some feedback from other like Christian booktubers and I don't know, just Christian readers in general, I was feeling a little bit more open to it, and I'm so glad that I did, because I started this yesterday and I am now at, I think 58%, nearly 60%. So I've been really bad, like I said, at updating you guys in this vlog, but now I am 60% of the way through Heartless Hunter. I honestly really like this book. I mean, the first like 50% was kind of slow, but I was enjoying myself like the entire time, you know? Like it was never boring. I really like the characters. It is like pretty high stakes, so even though like not a whole lot is going on, like the tension is there. And what I'm getting from this so far, and I feel like it's only going to get better from here, but like for right now, what I'm feeling like from this story is that it's just about these two people who are on completely different sides, and everything that they thought they believed gets like broken down, and they kind of both realize that there is like two sides to everything, you know? Like there's a good and a bad side to both sides, if that makes sense. Gideon Gideon honestly kind of reminds me of Rhysand from ACOTAR in the way that, like, they're just these men that did what they had to do to survive and to protect the people that they love. And so I don't know, I'm really enjoying this book. So there is kind of like a fake dating trope because, like it says in the synopsis, they kind of like pretend to court each other to catch each other. Like they're like pretending to court each other for their own personal gain. I guess, again, if that makes sense. And I'm usually not a fan of fake dating, but because this is like, I don't know, this just feels a little bit different. Like the reason for the fake dating is more intriguing to me than like fake dating in other romance books. This book is, it's getting so hard too, because like I am watching these two people who hate each other and shouldn't be together, and they're seeing each other for who they really are and not who they claim to be, I guess. Like here we have a witch hunter and a witch, and I feel like there's witch and witch hunter, and then there's Rune and Gideon. And they're just like, there's two different people, and when I see Rune and Gideon, I'm like, and then when I see the witch and the witch hunter, I'm like, So it's just like, again, two different sides to everything. So I don't know, it's a good time. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like things are going to really start picking up now, which is what I'm very excited for. Like I said though, it has been a little bit slowly paced, but I've never been bored. I've always been intrigued. I have been flying through this book. I'm having a good time. I did just get back we took like another day trip to the mountains, so I'm feeling a little bit tired, a little bit disheveled. So it is like 5 or 6 in the evening, so I think I'm going to just chill out now and read for the rest of the night. I'm hoping that I finish this book tonight because I really want to start either the 7-Year Slip or maybe beach read after this. I don't know though, because I am like really in the mood for a mystery or thriller, and I don't have any other mystery thrillers on my TBR for this month and that are like booktuber favorites. So I don't know, maybe I will read a mystery thriller in between this book and one of my other romance books. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I wish I wasn't so much of a mood reader because I wanted to be able to just like read what I pick for myself within the month, but if I'm not in the mood for it, I'm not going to enjoy it like I know I would if I was in the mood for it. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to hopefully finish Heartless Hunter tonight. I'm gonna go grab some sushi for dinner because, like I said, we were in the mountains for most of the day and I'm feeling a little bit lazy and I do not want to actually make dinner. So I'm gonna grab some sushi and I'm gonna lay down and I'm gonna chill out and I'm going to read for the rest of the night. I finished Heartless Hunter the other night, and so the other books that I have on my TBR for July, my like booktuber favorites, the rest of them are mostly either romance books or emotional, or they're like bigger fantasy books. So I wasn't really in the mood for any of those. I felt like I really needed like a mystery thriller to like palate cleanse in between books, so I ended up picking up Listen for the Lie. So it is a couple days later since I have finished Heartless Hunter, but you guys, I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to, but I also just like still really enjoyed it. Starting off, I think I'm gonna give this book like a 4-star. Oh, you know what? I took notes. I was like, where do I even start with like explaining my experience through this book? And then I remembered that I took notes, because this literally always happens every time I come to the end of a read. I forget everything that I had just read, and I forget why I liked it. I forgot what I didn't like about it. So first and foremost, I really like that this book is in dual POV. So we're getting our female main character Rune, we are getting our male main character, which is, why did I forget his name? Oh my gosh, why did I forget his name? Gideon. Oh my gosh. And then we're also getting Gideon's point of view. And I feel like a lot of times within like enemies to lovers fantasy romance books, you don't really get both point of views. So that was a pleasant surprise. I feel like this book was kind of slow, but it was also one of the reads where it was like slow, but I was having a good time throughout the whole book. So it wasn't like it was a slow read because there wasn't a whole lot happening, but it was still fun. The magic I feel like was fairly easy to understand, and the world itself, I feel like they definitely could have explained a little bit more on that and just like the background. But I feel like the magic system and the world itself isn't really like the focus of this book. So it was kind of all like surface level information, but it also like wasn't too complex to where like that wasn't enough, you know? Throughout this entire book, I feel like my emotions were just getting played with. I felt like I was getting manipulated. I felt like I was being gaslighted. I did not know what to make of this book because my emotions were just like all over the place. But throughout this book, kind of, I think I may have already said this. Wait, did I already do this book review? No, I didn't. But like I was saying earlier, I feel like because they are enemies to lovers, and this is a book where I'm like, this is true enemies to lovers. Because like I said earlier, obviously you have witch and witch hunter. And with that, they pretend to court each other, and they're both trying to get the other person to like fall in love with them so that they admit things and so they get information, and like they have their own personal reasons and selfish reasons for pretending to date each other. But it's so interesting because like through that fake pretend dating, they actually start to like fall in love with each other, and it's like the entire time they're just like fighting with their own feelings. And that's like exactly how I felt reading this book. Like there was times where I was like, okay, obviously they are in love and they just like need to stop fighting it, but then they would also say things and do things where they were like questioning their own feelings and like going against like how they felt, and it was so confusing, and like I loved it but hated it at the same time. This book made me very mad at times, but then I also like ate it up. So I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. The ending of this book, okay, it ended in a way that I hate when books end like this, and that was in a way that like so many things are still unresolved, so many things are unsaid, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of Powerless, honestly, just with like the way that the story was structured, I guess. And like I personally just don't like reading books that don't have closure at the end. Like this book is definitely one of the ones that you have to pick up the next book to like continue the plot line, which I know that that's kind of the whole point of like series, but I feel like I've read so many series where even like the first book, it still has closure to where it like gets you excited for the next book, but you don't like feel like there was a lot of things that were like unaddressed, or like you don't feel that closure, you know? I don't like that. So I don't know. I have very conflicting feelings about this book, but I mean overall, like I read it so fast. I ate it up. It was a good time. This book was borderline too witchy for me. The magic itself isn't that weird, and it doesn't go like super in depth into their magic and stuff, but the surface level magic that they did explain, it was a little weird for me because I don't like reading witchy books. I don't feel comfortable reading those things. But this one, I feel like this one was like okay enough to where I wasn't feeling like convicted about it. I wasn't feeling super uncomfortable about it, but it was borderline. It was like almost there, but not quite. I really like these characters. Well, I thought I did, and then, you know what, I'm not even gonna go into it. Not gonna go into it. There was a few characters that I thought that I liked them, but I ended up not liking them because they were not who I thought they were. There was just a lot in the last chunk of the book. Like, yes, it was slow-ish for the majority of it, but then that ending just kind of like jumbled my brain. Now that that one is over, I need to pick I think I'm going to read one more book for this video. Oh my gosh, you scared me. Hi. You don't have to whisper. So I have 4 books left in my like booktuber favorites TBR for July, and that is Lovely War, Dance of Thieves, Beach Read, and The 7-Year Slip. I'm kind of in between Beach Read and The 7-Year Slip because since I did just read a fantasy, I don't really want to get into this one because it is also kind of a long one. It's about 500 pages, and I just don't know if I have like the stamina for a longer book right now. And then this one I know is going to tear me apart, so I just don't know if I'm like in the mood for that right now. I'm not really in the mood to like be emotional. I kind of just want to like dilly-dally and have fun, you know? Which I know both of these do have some like more emotional parts in them, but they're still just like overall more fun and fluffy. I think I'm gonna go with Beach Read just because I am kind of in the mood for an Emily Henry book, and this one, like I said in my TBR video, was like the most common book over like all of the booktubers' favorites, and everybody that I know is obsessed with this book, so I feel like it's just time to read it. And I'm really excited because I feel like it is kind of like the perfect summer read. friends. I have to go get my wedding dress altered, so I figured that I would just update you guys while I was waiting. Because I have been reading in my car for the last like 15 minutes, just passing the time. So I am now on page 125 of Beach Read. So far I'm really enjoying it. I'm just having a good time. I do really like these characters. I don't know if I like it more than Funny Story. As of right now, I think I like them about the same. I will say though, for this to be called Beach Read, I don't really see the beachy part of it yet, and I don't know if that comes later. I expected this to feel more beachy and summery than it is, but I'm still having a really good time with it. I think I love most too that this is a book about two different authors that are just writing books that are out of their comfort zone and like out of what they usually write, and I just think that's so much fun. So the idea is great, the banter is great. I love that I don't really know what Gus is going through, but at least January is going through quite a bit in her life right now, so it definitely makes her feel more like real and relatable. I'm hoping to get most of this read today and then either finish it tonight or tomorrow, but as for right now, I'm going to continue reading in my car until my appointment in like 8 minutes. Hello friends, I finished Beach Read. It was really cute. I enjoyed it. Don't hurt me, but I think I like Funny Story better. I think maybe if I started with Beach Read, I would possibly feel the opposite way about it. Like maybe I would like Beach Read more than Funny Story, but because I started with Funny Story, I don't know, I feel like I just like that one better. But there were also a few valid reasons that I did enjoy Funny Story more than Beach Read. This one, I think I'm going to give a 4.5 because I did really enjoy it, but there was some things that I didn't love about it. First of all, let's start with the good. I love that automatically we are kind of going through all the things that January is currently going through. Like she just recently-ish lost her father, so she's uncovering a lot about him and his life and kind of his place in her life, and I don't know, she's just kind of like going through a lot at the moment. She's struggling to write. We didn't get like a terrible lot of her and her best friend's kind of relationship because they are long distance best friends, I guess I would say. But I did really enjoy the relationship between them as well. I thought it was really fun and wholesome and cute. Someone did tell me that Emily Henry's like earlier writing reads kind of more like literary fiction than it does romance. And I would say I kind of agree with that with this one because I feel like in Funny Story, it was kind of more of like a rom-com type of thing. And then in this one, I felt like I was getting kind of confused between like when we were trying to be literary fiction and when we were trying to be like romance. It was a good mix. Like it was balanced very well, but I could definitely see how this one is more like fiction. I liked Gus in January, but I feel like the little issues that I did kind of have with this book are, first of all, I feel like this is very unnecessarily physical. Like there was a lot more smut, I guess, than I was expecting. Although it was very deep and emotional, which I really appreciated, I do still feel like a lot of like the physical scenes were just kind of like unnecessary, and it almost made me feel like it was more physical than it was emotional, because I think the balance of that was just maybe thrown off a little bit for me. I also didn't love Gus's character, honestly. Like I like him, but I don't love him, and I think part of that is because although I understand why he acted the way he acted like back in college and kind of like up until a certain point, I still get kind of icky vibes. And throughout this book, there's kind of this thing around Gus where like he never dates women more than one, like he never has more than like one time like with a girl. And again, although I know and I understand why that happened and like I feel for him, it's not attractive to me at all. And so I was just kind of turned off to Gus's character because of that. Other than those things, I can't even really pinpoint exactly what it is that I didn't love as much about this one. It just didn't quite hit like Funny Story did, but I still appreciate it and I still love it for what it is. And so I am still giving it a 4.5, but it just wasn't quite a 5-star. Before I said I didn't really understand like the beachy part of it, and I think at a certain point I kind of started to understand it because I think it's not necessarily this is like a super beachy read, but these two lake houses are on like the lake beach, and she does mention a few times that they like go hang out on the beach, so that is like the extent to the beach theme. I thought this was going to be a more like summery read, and although it is like a good summer read, it's not as like summery vibes as I would have thought. I also don't know where I saw this, but I'm pretty sure I thought that there was like an accidental pregnancy trope in this, and there definitely isn't. By the end of this book though, I was rooting for them, and I was pretty giddy, and I was happy, and it was just a good time. I think like with the thing that I'm noticing with Emily Henry books is that I really enjoy the depth of them, and I also really enjoy that I can just have a really good time. Like I can always bet, now that I have read 2 of her books, I feel like I can bet on just having a good time with them. I did end up highlighting a few things because there was some quotes that I really loved. I can definitely see Emily Henry becoming another one of my favorite authors, and I do have her 3 other books on my shelf right now. I have Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation, and then Happy Place right behind me that I'm probably all going to read within the next like couple months. Something that I've noticed just with me is that I feel like whatever is the most popular, for some reason I tend to not like love those ones as much. So I know that like Beach Read is like her top seller, maybe other than Funny Story. I don't really know because Funny Story hasn't been out nearly as long. But yeah, I don't know. I just noticed that like what my favorites are different from like the popular choice, I guess I would say. So I'm really curious to see how I feel about Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation, and Happy Place, because I think People We Meet on Vacation is like maybe her least popular. And I know that Emily Henry is like a well-loved author. Like so many people have read all of her books. So I'm just excited to finally now be on that train. I am going to end the vlog here though because I do have some other fun reading plans for the rest of the month that I want to get to. But I hope you guys had fun with me reading all these booktuber favorites. I am going to try and continue reading the rest of the booktuber favorites that I have for this month, but there are a few other books that I kind of wanted to get to, so I don't know, we'll see. I will put everything in my July reading wrap up, which I think I might do like a May through July reading wrap up because I haven't done a wrap up in the last 2 months, and I just needed to catch you guys up on what I've been up to and what I've been reading for the last 2 months, 2 to 3 months. But as for now, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah!